Welcome, audio fans. It's time for another episode of the podcast, presented by J&J Production Studios, your home for entertainment with your favorite shows available every week. And now, it's time to begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello, welcome everybody. A surprise bonus for you guys. This is an all-new, brand-new, first edition, inaugural episode for a brand new show, which you will see based on the title for that, here at J&J Production Studios. It is a brand new show, but not a brand new concept if you guys have been listening for a while. This is just something that had been thought about and played with an idea of having this to be its own sort of show, but didn't do that. Didn't know if the timing would be fit for it. But given the level of information and knowledge there, thought it was about time to crack the champagne bottle. There we go. On this, it's a new show. This is the newest production from J&J Production Studios, Aikido Life in the Martial Arts. Is what it's titled, and as it states, we're talking about all things martial arts, not just Aikido, but Aikido has been very prevalent for yours truly, me, Sam Crow. I've trained in it for many years, still do, and you know, I've read and I've chewed through so many different books on it, so many different videos. I've researched different philosophies on it. We're going to cover all that. We're going to get in-depth about that. That's what this podcast is going to be all about. But in addition to that, I love all things martial arts too, so we'll talk about all kinds of other arts too. It's not just Aikido. It's just that's most prominent for me and what I enjoy. But of course, you guys know too, this will be great because we've done a lot of works with our good friend Ramsey Veach at Impulse Martial Arts. So we're probably going to transition and do more of Into the Martial Arts World segment in this podcast because of the success from that and because of how often we're doing that and growing that. Felt it was great. It gives us another opportunity, another means of outlet for information for you guys. Maybe you guys train yourselves. Maybe you're thinking about training. Maybe some of these episodes will help inspire you to start. I will say right off the bat, and I know for a lot of people too, this is a huge thing. It's never too late to start. You're never too old to do it. So if you've been considering it, please look into it. I mean, it's great, a lot of benefits for a lot of reasons. But all of that stuff and more is what we're going to be covering in this particular podcast. And again, I've said this, you know, when we developed the shows that we did, you know, we had an idea initially, which was the main show, which is what we have. And, of course, you guys know our information, you know, it started to break up into pieces where we didn't want to have our shows go super long. So what we had to do is we give them their own categories. Now, again, this was one that I had thought about. I mentioned it to Big Hoss. We talked about it. You know, he kind of said, too, I'm surprised you didn't do one initially. Especially because we have the Law and Justice show, which is dedicated to everything criminal justice and laws and the bail bonds industry and things like that, things I'm working towards and getting into and been involved in. But I didn't think it was going to be such a huge thing that it did need its own platform, in essence. But after I thought about it and after we talked about it for a while and, you know, all of these things, you know, and then looking at it, I will tell you the funny part of the story of this is, it's the whole concept really came about where I looked at it saying, you know what, we have 9 shows now, including adding Mr. J show, which was technically our 9th show, officially. And, you know, I thought to myself, I am very much, and I think I've shared this, but I'll share this with you guys again in case you are newer here, very much anal, very OCD about certain things. I love even numbers, not odd. 9 shows. I'm like, do we dare add a 10th? Well, I have to have 10 because it makes sense. So, and obviously this is a great love there, and again, it's something that I've talked about there too, and so it finally has come to fruition. We felt like it's finally time, and here we are. And we turned once again to the gentleman that has helped us design all of our podcast cover art. And as you see, I pulled a few photos that I liked and had it out, and he made this great artwork that you can see now, which really, I had this kind of idea what I wanted it, but he actually took it and made it something that I could not have imagined. It's so spectacular, and it's wonderful, and it's just great. We love doing that. Again, such wonderful people we've worked with to create some of these artworks that we've had, but it came out beautifully. So timing of it all, everything down pat, it was here. Finally, we got it, and here we are, and this is going to be awesome. And looking forward to seeing how this grows, what we're going to talk about and continue to work through. But we hope you guys will really enjoy it. Again, this is going to be just a short episode, just to kind of launch things, give you some ideas what we're going to talk about, that sort of stuff. But yeah, felt it was time. Felt it was just really, really imperative that we give this its due. Second, I am multitasking. And again, like I said, I wrestled with this, went back and forth, and, especially when we expanded shows, we're thinking, it's a lot more time. You guys know we've always been busy. We're planning to do a lot more. We're going to get more content out, but it's just been difficult with everything happening and life going on. So, do we throw another show in the mix? But because, like with the Law and Justice show too, there's so much pertinent information, and it gives this separate category, and plus it gives us more opportunity, which I will announce it's out there. We've got it up in the store already, so there is merchandise available, even though we haven't gotten a lot of episodes out yet, which we will. If you want to check that out, check it out, linktree.com/J_J Production Studios. You can find the updated logos for that. With this particular show, all kinds of great merchandise is available there too. But it just seemed, I don't know, it got to a point where, I know we've been loving doing the talks with Ramsey, and, we've got some, obviously we've got, you guys saw the announcement, we posted it on social media there. Verka is coming in, another MMA fighter. We've had Miranda on the show. We've had a lot of great time. We're hoping to add more. So I just felt like this was going to be, and we will be featuring Verka on the main platform so far. If she does come back at some point, we'll transition. But since it's our first time, we're going to do the main show just for everybody there. But I don't know, just all the puzzle pieces seem to be in place, and it just seemed like it was the ideal time to launch this and get it going. So excited to see where this goes, how this grows. And again, you guys will know too, it's sort of like something for everybody, a different topic and a different, just something we're going to centralize and focus on, which we typically do anyway. But there's also, it's just the idea that, we can really have these defining categories. Sorry, again, I'm multitasking here in the studio currently as I'm working on this. This has been pre-recorded because I want to save this for our evening slot to give you guys something to look forward to. And it's going to surprise a lot of you too, because it's going to drop right away. And if you guys haven't been following that, you're going to be surprised by it. But yeah, I think that this is really just going to open up a lot of possibilities there. So we'll see how this goes, and we will see how it manifests and how it develops. I'm really excited about it. Again, you guys know us too. We love taking on new projects, and obviously this is going to be huge, as this is our 10th now show appearance coming in here. But, again, I'm looking forward to it, love it. All the shows have been great. So that was the other major factor we thought about was, is it really going to be worth it? Some shows are favored more than others, which is fine. But the more looking at it and the more thinking about it was, all of the shows that we featured here, minus Mr. J show, because obviously that's his, and we've, just been a part of that and associated with that, but we don't run it and have major, a lot to do with that. At least we haven't up until recently. But you always worry about that when you start off on this. Like we shared before, when we started the initial idea to do a podcast, never dreaming it would be 10 podcasts. Now, currently with this one, would it be beneficial? Would it work? So It's really just, it's incredible. It's amazing. And I'm loving this. It's going to go. I have so much to want to share here, just like with the Law and Justice show. Category based, focusing on this, and I'm sure everybody else is going to love it as well. So yeah, there you go. Let's take a short break here. I'm going to come back, and then for the latter part of this episode, again, it's only going to be a short, maybe half an hour tops. It's just to get you guys some ideas here. We'd love to do an inaugural episode. You know, we're going to do more of this, obviously, but just want to get some exposure, kick this off the right way. Going to talk about more in depth of what we're looking to do, what's going to happen, some more information that is going to be shared, some things we are going to talk about, all that great stuff. Let's pause here, though, of course, and let's give you guys a chance to catch your breath, revel in the artwork if you wish. It's wonderful artwork done. Again, kudos to the designer for that. We love him. We've been working with him since we got all our designs done, and I reached out to him directly because I said, you're the guy we want to do this, and he does not let us down. It is always top notch, 150%. We love it. So, but yeah, then we're going to come back and then we'll talk the specifics and logistics of this podcast. But hope you guys are loving this. It's a great surprise. Again, it's after Labor Day weekend. I wanted to throw this out there. And of course, we have a lot more great stuff to come as well. We'll talk about that shortly in a minute. But stay tuned for more. We'll come back. We'll dive into the nuts and bolts of how this podcast is going to run, what you're going to find out, what you're going to learn, and hopefully what you're going to learn to love. Stick around for more. Stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey audio fans, are you looking for fun and excitement? Have you been searching for that special show? You know, the one complete package you want in a podcast? Then check out the What's Up Bro podcast show and experience what true entertainment is all about. Stay tuned and don't miss the action. Available on your favorite streaming services, including YouTube. thank you for all your support. And as always, we'll see you at the show.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
Hey there, do you love podcasts? Are you having difficulty finding the right ones to listen to? Is it frustrating when you're trying to pick that show? You know, the one where everyone must collectively agree on? Like finding a good movie or TV show to watch, do you look for the most jam-packed entertainment that's possible to find in a single episode every week? Then search no more, and welcome to J&J Production Studios. It's our business to provide the best entertainment and information available for you. Whether you're sitting in that comfy chair with your favorite snack and beverage listening live each week, or downloading your favorite show episodes to take with you on the go while you're at work, exercising, or even just to play at night for you to fall asleep to. There's something for everyone, no matter what size, shape, or age you are. Visit www.linktree.com/J_J Production Studios to find all the streaming services where our podcast shows can be found. You can also connect with us on your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter. You can join our public Discord server and chat directly with us. But wait, there's more. You can subscribe to our official YouTube channel and be notified every time a new show is broadcast. Wish you could have some studio souvenirs or collectibles? Guess what? You can. Visit the official store where you can purchase items featuring your favorite podcast and show hosts. Would you like to help support us? You can do that by getting your very own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. All proceeds go to help us upgrade our shows, which will only enhance the entertainment provided to you. Thank you so much. We're excited to have you as an audience. Your love and support are always appreciated. We'll see you soon.
Break time is over. We're so glad you stayed tuned. Now back to the action as the show is set to resume.
Thanks so much for hanging out there. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the inaugural explanatory episode for a brand new podcast titled Aikido and Life in the Martial Arts. Just a quick recap, if you are catching this, even though it is pre-recorded, you might got it in between, just let you know. This is a new podcast for a current concept that we run. That's probably the easiest way to say it. It was under development, thought about it, wanted to do it initially when we started crafting these individual shows, but it was only until recently felt like we finally hit the plateau where it was ready to be birthed. I was the doctor with the gloves on, ready to catch it, ready to give birth to it. I'm just kidding. But just felt like it deserved its own corner now, and love to include that. We're going to add our good friend Ramsey Veach when he comes back. We're going to be using this platform and this podcast to do episodes of Into the Martial Arts World, just to allow more content to spread it out and spread the wealth and spread the love and all that great stuff. But yeah, so just to kind of summarize and to talk a little bit here, we're going to wrap up soon. I'm trying to keep it much as a half an hour as possible, just because we're not going to really get too much into starting yet. This is just sort of the foreword or the index or the overview, the breakdown essentially of what this podcast is going to be all about. So, obviously, we'll cut to the second part of this because the main part we're going to get to. We're going to talk all different things, martial arts, different arts. Could range from judo, jiu-jitsu to kempo karate to obviously we're going to include some sword and training weapons, things like that. Really anything regarding martial arts in general. But the primary preface is the major art, which I particularly love and study, is Aikido. Which, if you don't know what that is, you're going to learn in this podcast. But we're going to talk everything. This goes for all the arts, from history to where the arts come from, different philosophies of it, different conscripts, different constructs for how a lot of the same art, but it's broken up into different groups. Different people have their own perceptions, their own takes, teaching-wise, philosophy, curriculum, talking about techniques, talking about really just a general potpourri of a lot of different things. And we'll talk about, obviously, some materials. Obviously, I mentioned earlier, too, I have a lot of books on this. I've read so many different books about Aikido specifically, trying to get different viewpoints, different philosophical viewpoints. We talk a lot about that with Ramsey when we talk, and he's on the show. You guys know, too, we kind of share different thoughts and feedback there. But all of that kind of stuff, as well as doing our part to edify and give people the knowledge to understand this. Because, just as a personal note for me, I always want to, I hope one day, to teach, too. My goal is always old school, and all these arts are coming from Japanese arts. There's different arts, too, we're going to talk about, but the Japanese arts are the ones I love doing. And the goal and the core concept is to afford the students who learn from their teachers to pass on the lineage and the generation to keep these arts alive. Like, I think Ramsey, I know we talked about it recently, and I believe it was the last episode we did about how, I think it was last episode. We talked about like the sword arts, for example, and even some of the kempo arts. These are arts that are dying out, that are not taught anymore, that there's no trace of lineage, there's no concrete, solid playbook or blueprint for this anymore, because most of those such ancient arts were taught, and the disciples and the students that learned didn't really, they taught other students, but they didn't write the information down. It was all up top, up in the noggin learning. So it got watered down, it got torn apart, it got reinterpreted, that's the word I was looking for. All of these things and more. So it's difficult, but we want to take it to where we are able to pass this along, inspire young people, inspire folks to get involved with that. If you're looking for something, it's a great thing to do. Not for everybody. Obviously, not everybody. If it was, everybody would do it. But there's a lot of benefits to that. We're going to talk about that. We will definitely include a lot of other things, too, that might maybe not fit in that category, but we're looking forward to it. But yeah, so that's pretty much the general idea. And again, it will probably morph and mutate as we go along. But again, the core principle is doing our due diligence. And me, as I said, as being a student for a long time, is I want to preserve the art because I love it. It's like anything else, whether you're an art student or whatever, or whatever else might be, music and literature, whatever the case is. Learning from people that have taught for generations before you, like the Da Vinci's of their time, the Mozarts, the Beethoven, anybody who classically or put music or artwork together, you want to share it and inspire generations. You want to keep it alive. It's the same thing with the martial arts too. And I know that Ramsey has touched on that. We've talked about that. We talked about it in the blog. He's written a few things on there too, which we're going to go over. All of that is going to be wrapped up into this particular podcast, which is why, again, it finally set this trigger. It lit the fuse saying, now is the time to go ahead and launch this podcast, to give it its own individual identity, which is what we're doing here. So that is the premise of this. That is the prospect. That's what we're doing. And each episode, we're gonna cover a wide range of things. Depending on if we have a guest, if Ramsey's on, it might be a longer episode. It might be shorter spurts. We're going to try to be mindful of that. We're trying to share the wealth, share the knowledge, but also spread it out and even it out so that we can make it last. But that is the overall basis for this new podcast, which, again, new podcast, same category, just we're giving it its own little space. It's like when you have children in the house, you give them their own room. We're giving this podcast its own room, its own topic, its own podcast. So to have a little sense of fun with that humor. But that's the plan. That's what we're going to do. And again, I said before too, and I keep saying it, I am super, super excited because, I figure why not? What the heck? Let's just go all in. And now we've got 10 shows we can boast doing, and is it going to make more havoc for us and wreak havoc on us? Sure. But we love what we're doing. We're seeing the guys too. The content is growing and we're getting more support, and the viewership and the listenings of episodes and downloads is growing. So again, our job is to provide the best entertainment possible for you guys. So that's what we're doing, and that's what we're trying to incorporate as we grow and expand. But that is the overall basis for this platform, and we hope you guys will enjoy it and learn some new things. And if you're also a student in any art, especially Aikido too, and you want to chime in during when we do it, by all means, we'd love to have more feedback. Give it back. I'm a lot of communities on social media that are other Aikido lovers, other martial art lovers. Listen to this, get involved, and give your 2 cents. And if you want to be on the show to talk about it too, by all means, the more the merrier. The more opinions we have, the more ideas to share. It's only going to enrich this great, wonderful knowledge that we have to present. So that's what it's all about. Can't wait to do more episodes for you guys. More episodes will be coming soon, I promise you that. But I wanted to just launch this to get things going, get the ball rolling, so you could kind of see where we're headed with this. But yeah, that's going to cover that for now. Stay tuned for more. I promise it'll get out there. Lastly, just for the next minute or two we have here, a couple of quick announcements. A reminder, this episode will be launching. It is Tuesday, September 3rd in the evening. So make sure you tune in on Thursday night, September 5th. The Pod Squad is back. Brand new episode will be available. Check that out. We'll share the links on social media. Make sure you're following us there. Again, linktree.com/J_J Production Studios. Make sure you do that. You'll see updates there as well. And what else do we have? And a reminder, I mentioned it earlier, but I mentioned it again, a brand new special guest. You'll tune in and check it out. New episode Friday night, September 13th. We have Verka Partakova, who is going to join us. She is an MMA fighter and a Kung Fu/academic coach. I've had the pleasure of talking to her in person a little bit. She will be joining us. She does live out in Thailand, so we're recording this ahead of time because of the time difference. But she has a lot of great knowledge. We're going to dive into it. We are going to dissect it. We've had a lot of great guests coming on, and we're super excited to continue this trend. And hope you guys will love that as well. So remember, again, mark your calendars. The episode will be available. It will drop Friday night. I almost said August. I'm still not in September mode yet, you guys. September 13th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So we won't have any new episode that night, but we'll be back with the main show again on Saturday for new content there for that weekend. And then lastly, too, remember, holidays are coming up. We did not get our Labor Day out, unfortunately, but we made up for that with plenty of content, and hopefully this, especially with having a new podcast too, this really makes up for that. We apologize for not doing that, but our seasonal episodes will begin starting in October because it's the month of Halloween, so we're going to run our spooktacular specials. I have to think of a new theme this year. I'm not sure. I'll come up with something. But that's going to run for the month of October. November, we run it for the month getting ready for Thanksgiving. And Veterans Day obviously ties in there. And then, of course, December is Christmas month, holiday season. Christmas music all the way through into the new year. And then, of course, we have some new things, new projects, and new changes coming up in the new year, which we will talk about as we get closer. So, that being said, there's everything you have. Again, for more, make sure you're following us. Stay tuned. We'll give you guys updates as they come. But love you guys so much. Appreciate you all. Hope you're really excited for this. I am as well. And a lot of us are here too. So we're really looking forward to adding to it. We are really growing, and we appreciate all your support since you've been there. If you've been there since the beginning, we love you for it. If you're just coming in now, we love everybody. We love all of you. So you all mean the world to us. There's no level of importance here. Everybody means the world to us. We are a family, we're a community, and we want to continue to grow and share alike. So, thank you for listening to this. Looking forward to more. Again, tune in for the Pod Squad and catch us this weekend on the What's Up Bro podcast show, Friday and Saturday night. New episodes coming out soon. Hope to see you there, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. For all of us here at J&J Production Studios, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care. We'll see you very soon. And of course, and as always, you guys know, until next time, especially with this new podcast, we'll see you at the show.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Be sure to check J&J Production Studios on Linktree for all the streaming services and social media accounts where our shows are featured. We love and appreciate all your support. And as always, until next time, we'll see you at the show.